Narad ji in the previous sutra, he explained that bhakti is nirodha rupi, it is restrictive. And what is this restrictive nature of bhakti? Number one, there are no desires, no selfish desires. Now he says the second definition of nirodha, and then he'll give a third one. The second, he says that bhakti is restrictive. What is the restriction? You have to come back home before 7 o'clock. Parents restrict the children. So bhakti is restrictive. Take all Laukik and Vedic karmas and throw them out of the window. What are Laukik karmas? Your social obligations. It is my chacha's, jija's, mama's, beta's, bhanja's wedding. Swamiji, I cannot come for the retreat because of this. This is a Laukik, social karma. So if we put a priority on that, it's natural we will get distracted. And Narad ji says, Khabardar, no such excuses. Bhakti is restrictive. You were doing that as long as you didn't realize the value of the human form of life. And now that you have understood, this human form is a golden chance bestowed upon the soul. Even the celestial devatas pray, when will I get the human body that I'll engage in sadhana to reach God? Now that we have understood that we have this swarnim avasar, this invaluable opportunity, we must not waste any time. The priority must be very clear. Swami Yogananda used to say, only God. You know, people say first family, then after that job, then after that, then number 20 is God. And before God is dog also, right? So they put God right at the bottom, and that is why the chance for God does not come, because the other things all engross all our time. Now you have to revert that God number one. And that is why when your chachas, jijas, mamas, bhanja asks you, it is my son's wedding and you must come, then make an excuse. I'm not well, that's why I won't be able to come, and slip away for Swamiji's retreat. So Narad ji says, Laukik karma ka nyas karo. Reject the Laukik karmas and the Vedic karmas. Now this is serious matter. Vedic karmas are the rituals of the Vedas. You do the Shrad. For the departed ancestors, you offer oblations. Now this is in accordance with the Vedas. There's a whole set of rules and regulations. There are 5 rins or 5 debts that are applicable to human beings. Dev rin, Pitri rin, Nri rin, Rishi rin, Bhut rin. Your debt to all living entities. The bees are pollinating the flowers, and that is why you are getting grain and fruits and vegetables. So your debt to all the creatures. That is why in the Varnashram Dharma you take a little rice and leave it out for the ants, and a little grain for the birds. So there are all these debts. Like that, there is a whole plethora of rituals. Now, Narad ji says, do the nyas, throw them away. But Narad ji is not alone in this. Shri Krishna says to Arjuna, Traigunya Vishaya Veda Nistraigunyo Bhava Arjuna. Arjuna, the ritualistic portion of the Vedas is Trigunatmak. It is dealing with the 3 gunas. Rise beyond it. Why? Because you have reached the purpose of the rituals. If you get stuck there, then the purpose is not served. You have heard the story of the Chaubes of Mathura. These Chaturvedi Brahmins, in the time of Sri Krishna, they had an ominous personas. Pandits, they're very scary people sometimes. I see how they torment. Hey, you have made a mistake out here. Ooh, what should I do now? So these Karmakandi Brahmins of Mathura were the topmost Brahmins of that time. And people were tyrannized. So once Sri Krishna, when he was to go to graze the cows in the forest, Yashoda used to pack his tiffin and send it along. On this occasion, Krishna wanted to do a Leela. So he ran off quickly. Yashoda did not have the time to pack his tiffin. Now when they reached the forest, Krishna started creating a ruckus. I am feeling hungry. पेट में चूहे कूद रहे हैं, खाने की व्यवस्था करो. So the Sakha said, now where should we arrange your food? There are these Brahmins residing there. The Chaturvedi Brahmins, go and tell them Krishna and Balaram are hungry, if they can arrange for some food. So the Sakhas went, the Brahmins were performing yajna to Vishnu. Vishnu rara tammasi Vishnu snaptrestho Vishnu syurasi Vishnu dhruvasi Vaishnavamasi Vishnave tva idam Vishnave namah swaha. So the Sakhas said, Maharaj, Krishna and Balaram are hungry. Can we get something? Hey, don't disturb. When the yajna is over, you'll get the avashisht. Now the Sakhas went back. They said to Sri Krishna, where did you send us? They seemed to be very dharmic. They had big tilak marks on their forehead and they were wearing big putts around their shoulders. But they don't even know this much of dharma, that when God is hungry, he should be fed. Sri Krishna said, you won't get anything from them. Go and approach their wives. So the wives of these Brahmins were engaging in devotion to Sri Krishna. And they had heard a lot about his glories. He is more enchanting than Kamdev. He is such a wonderful boy with such great qualities, and you should have just heard how he plays his flute. And all the gopis in Braj are charmed by him. So they were eager for Sri Krishna's darshan. Now the Sakhas went, they said, Mataji, our friends Krishna and Balaram are hungry, can we get something? These Brahman Patnis, whatever they were doing, they just left it. Whatever they had ready in their house, they took it along with them and ran to the forest to feed Sri Krishna. Now Sri Krishna ate it with relish. Later on, he bestowed enlightenment upon the Pandits by his grace. And when the Brahmins understood the lapse that had occurred, they said, Dhik janmanastri vidyam, fie upon our birth. They are born as Chaturvedi Brahmins, the highest kind of birth. They are saying, fie upon it. Fie upon the knowledge of the Vedas that we accumulated. Dhik janmanastri vidyam, dhik vratam, dhik bahugyatam. Fie upon all the fasts that we kept. Fie upon all the books that we read. Dhik janmanastri vidyam, dhik vratam, dhik bahugyatam, dhik kulam, dhik kriyadaksham, vimukhaye tvadokshaje. Fie upon all the rituals that we performed. Why? As a result of all this, we did not develop love at the feet of God. We remain stuck at the intermediate level. We didn't realize the purpose of it all was to reach there. And then they say, just look at our wives. Aho ayam dhanyatama yesham nastradistri striyah. Our wives, they are not even dvij. You see, in the Vedic Sanatan Dharma, the first birth is when you are born from the mother's womb. And the second birth is when you get the janiyu, the sacred thread. That sacred thread is given to boys, not to girls. So our wives are not even dvij. Nor did they stay in our Guru's ashram. Nor did they study Mimamsa Darshan. And yet they reached where even our angels did not reach. Where was that? They got attachment at the feet of Sri Krishna. So they say, Aho ayam dhanyatama yesham nastadrishi striha. We are actually blessed. Just now you were saying we are cursed, now you are saying we are blessed. We are blessed that we got such wives who opened our eyes. In other words, the rituals are all there for a purpose. What is the purpose? What is the purpose of middle school? To train you up for high school. That is the purpose. Similarly, just like from junior school you go to middle school to high school, somebody is totally frivolous. To help that person learn discipline, learn respect for the scriptures, learn a little bit of awe and reverence, a whole lot of rituals are prescribed. But if someone remains stuck in the rituals, then the purpose is not served. Like those Brahmins of Mathura. So now Narad ji has taken an extreme view. He says, throw away all these rituals. But Kripaluji Maharaj says, look, some Laukik karma, some Vedic karma you will have to do. Supposing your mother-in-law expects that you should be doing Shraddh oblations to the ancestors. And the daughter-in-law is so modern, she says, no, I will not do it. Then there's going to be tension at home. So just to please the people around so that there is no tension, do a little bit of rituals. How does it matter? Prahlada did it. When the Lord Nrisingh killed Hiranyakashipu, and then he bestowed the boon on Prahlad, he asked Prahlad that now you do Shraddh to your father. What is the purpose of Shraddh? Shraddh is for somebody who is in the material realm. And Hiranyakashipu has been killed by God, he's gone to God's abode. Nrisingh Bhagwan says, just for lok vyavahar, if you don't do it, then people will speak against you and they will create all kind of tension and anxiety. So, to be able to survive in society, you need to do a little bit of social obligations and a little bit of Vedic karmas. But in all that you do, you add one thing, Bhagavati samarpanam nyasaha. In other words, those Laukik and Vedic karmas which have to be done, offer them to God. My Lord, I am doing it all for your pleasure. So this Bhagavati Samarpanyasaha, Narad ji says that Laukik and Vedic karmas are not your goal in this bhakti, because bhakti is Nirodha Rupi. Let's move on to the next verse.